Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today's video covers a jaw-dropping exchange on Capitol Hill where Rep. Jim Jordan confronted New York Governor Kathy Hochul in a heated interrogation that lit up the immigration debate like never before. It all centers around a violent criminal, ICE detainers, and the controversial sanctuary policies in New York. Before we jump in, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss breaking political showdowns like this one.
Governor, who's Jesus Romero Hernandez?
Thank you. I want to reaffirm that we do cooperate in cases where...
That wasn't the question. I just read your statement. I can read your statement. Who is Jesus Romero Hernandez?
I don't have the details on every single person in a state of 20 million people.
I understand, but this guy's a citizen of Mexico, deported 7 times, came to your state, assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, then when he was in custody, assaulted a corrections officer. ICE finds out this guy is in your state's custody, and they send you a detainer. You're familiar with a detainer, right?
Yes, I am.
Notice of action, immigration detainer to Tompkins County Jail from Syracuse Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Section 1, they check a couple boxes. The first one they check is a final order of removal against the alien has taken place. That means a court has said this guy needs to go. This machete-wielding, cop-choking, corrections officer assaulting guy needs to go. Then they also check another box and they say biometric confirmation of who this individual is, this alien's identity. So they got the right guy and a court has said he needs to go. Any idea what Tompkins County Jail decided to do with that detainer order?
I will tell you this, the state of...
It's a specific question.
No,
what did Tompkins County do?
The descriptions you have put forth are absolutely chilling and disturbing and reprehensible to all of us. My job is to protect the people of New York.
Which is why I'm asking the question. What did Tompkins County do?
What I have responsibility for
I will tell you, since you're not going to answer. We cannot and will not hold Mr. Hernandez.
Jesus Romero Hernandez, a Mexican national deported 7 times, landed back in the spotlight after allegedly attacking a New York resident with a machete, choking a police officer, and assaulting a corrections officer while in custody. ICE had all the paperwork, a biometric ID confirmation, and a final order of removal. They sent a detainer to Tompkins County Jail. The expectation? Hold him until ICE arrives. ICE notified Tompkins County they were on the way. The county responded, "We're not going to hold him." ICE replied, "We'll be there tonight." Still, the jail released Hernandez. ICE showed up just 78 minutes later, but he was already gone. This timeline is now being held up as a prime example of the consequences of sanctuary policies.
We can't keep the machete guy who had choked a police officer and assaulted a corrections officer. We can't keep him. In fact, we have the back and forth from Tompkins County and ICE on January 28th of this year, 8:56 p.m., Tompkins County tells ICE, "We're not going to hold this guy." 7 minutes later, ICE responds back, "We will be there to take custody this evening." 24 minutes later, Thompson County reiterates, "We're not going to have him. We're not going to turn him over." 10:45. ICE arrives at the jail. 1 hour and 18 minutes later, and guess what? Mr. Hernandez is not there. They couldn't wait 1 hour and 18 minutes for a guy who assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, and then when in custody, assaulted corrections officers. That is sanctuary policy in a nutshell, and that is what your state supports, and so do these other governors. That is what is so wrong, why the American people hate this concept.
You're conflating what the state of New York does is I control state police and prisons. We have turned over 1,300 people.
So you disagree with it?
We turn over 1,300 people. Did the sheriff make the wrong call? Those are local policies that we would not have done in the state of New York. State of New York, that is a local decision. So you're saying the sheriff's wrong? I would say this, if it happened in a state prison, we have already turned over 1,300 people.
Sheriff in Tompkins County, a Democrat or Republican, Governor?
There have been times, excuse me.
The sheriff in Thompson County, a Democrat or Republican?
Excuse me. There have been times.
I ask the questions, you give the answers. Is he a Democrat or Republican?
For a second.
You know?
I'm asking for this moment to explain that I'm sometimes waiting for ICE to come pick up people.
Is he a Democrat or Republican, and do you agree with the actions he took?
He's a Democrat.
Do you agree with the actions he took? How about that question?
They are in conflict with what the state of New York would do.
Well, maybe they're scared. By the way, he is a Democrat.
This was more than a political spat. Jordan called it a matter of public safety and common sense. And honestly, many Americans watching were asking the same question. How can this happen?
Oh, you know what else was interesting in this case? You know what else was interesting? There was actually an arrest warrant from United States District Court, Northern District of New York, signed by Judge Wiley Danks, magistrate from Syracuse. There was an arrest warrant, and they still couldn't keep him.
The state of New York cooperates. We cooperate in removal of individuals who've served time. We respond to detention. You're confusing, and maybe there's a lesson in civics here that's necessary.
Will you say on the record right here, I got 12 seconds, will you say on the record, was Tompkins County wrong in the actions they took on January 25th, 2025, when they wouldn't hold the guy for 1 hour and 18 minutes?
Those are not the policies that we would have in the state of New York. Those are not the policies we would have in a...
Were they wrong? Should they have turned that guy over to ICE? It's a simple question, Governor.
That was a horrible situation. The person should not have been out there.
It's a horrible situation, but it's a yes or no question.
It is a response that this is a locality.
Do you agree or
disagree? In the
disagree?
state of New York, the person should have been held.
Yes or no?
The person should have been held, and in the state of New York, we would have turned him over. That is in conflict.
Cornered by Jordan's barrage of facts, Governor Hochul finally conceded the person should have been held. She admitted the actions of Tompkins County clashed with what the state would do and distanced herself from the decision. But for critics, that answer came far too late. Since then, Hernandez has been rearrested. Authorities now say he poses an imminent danger and is not allowed out of his cell. The same man who was released just months ago is now considered a threat to himself and others by correctional officers. Jordan calls it a tragic example of failed policy and says it's why Americans are losing faith in the system. This isn't just about one man. It's about how policy, politics, and public safety collide. Should sanctuary jurisdictions override federal orders? Should local authorities be allowed to ignore ICE detainers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think more people need to hear stories like this, hit that share button. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next political flashpoint. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay sharp.